So recently I decided I wanted a cup of warm hot chocolate in the morning and maybe enough water to heat up my bath water. So I came up with a Hobo stove of my own. All you need is a couple of cans of soup, um, shortening, a little jar, some like shoelaces or yarn, which is what I used, a can opener, and a knife. You don't really need a knife. I guess you could just use a nail or a screw that you found off the side of the road. You could use a shoelace, just as long as it's not synthetic, which will, you know, or if you got cash, you can go out and buy a wick. Um, I don't have any money, so this is all the homeless version of a hobo stove. I don't have any power tools to, like you see online, people using Dremel. They're using pieces of wire that they got at the Home Depot or something. I don't actually have that. But basically, you clean out the cans, clean out the jar, get them nice and shiny, I guess, and then you just peel off the labels. They're just going to get all messed up anyway. And yeah, just have everything clean, and then open up you're going to open up one can on the other side. So it's a top lid, so you open that up. On the other side, you're going to crank that open, and that's going to be your wind shield, but also the main component um, of the stove. You want to make sure it's down far enough, or that the that you're making the holes closer to the top, uh, just after the clearance of the little jar that you're going to have inside, full of shortening. Um, and what I like to do is I like to create these little little V's in there and push them in, and they create like little spokes that'll hold a can or a cup or anything that might normally fall down in there. And so I do about three of those in a triangle kind of formation, and then pop them in. And then I'll go back in and make three extra holes or so, bigger ones a little bit further down, and that creates a little bit of airway. Otherwise, the fire goes out pretty easily. Um, but I make those a little bit larger, and that's all peachy and wonderful. Uh, and then you fill up the little jar with your shortening, Crisco or, Great Value or whatever brand you're using. You want to press it down in there, and make it nice and flush. And then when you're done, you're going to leave a little bit of a gap at the top, because you are going to be wanting to screw on the little cap when you're not using it. So there's that. You also have, like, all I've got is yarn. So, and they say to use something tightly woven. I don't have shoelaces to spare, so I just tied it up in knots. Took about 6 strands or so, just kind of loop the yarn, and tied it in knots, as many as I could, and then I'll clip off the ends, and life is good. Then I'll go ahead and use a stick and poke a hole into the shortening, so I'm not having a lot of resistance, and then I'll just guide that wick right in there. And it's important to smush a little bit on the end, otherwise it might have a little hard time starting. Then you're pretty much good to go. You light the wick. It takes a little bit of time to get going, but 30 seconds, 12 seconds or something. So it's not instant. It needs to get saturated. And then you're good to go. That's your power source. That's your, and you can always put another wick in there at another time when it gets low and you got to put more in there. But you put as you can see, the can over there. I've actually taken several different cans that I'll, test it out with. It takes about 20 minutes to get water nice and I guess hot enough to do hot chocolate with. Not too hot. I don't want it boiling or anything. About 30 minutes gets hot enough so that I can mix it with water, other water, to do my hobo bath. But the one can is just used for extinguishing. A lot of hobo stoves don't seem to have that. That's important to me. I don't want, it's not going to be in my tent. It's just, a one-time use kind of thing. in the morning, and then the next day and the next day. Then you got the little cap to put on the pesto, and then great for carrying and not having to worry about it spilling all over, which I had that problem earlier today. Um, with regards to the cup, I use a Spam. Wanted to try that out. That's what I've been heating up my water in. I use the carabiners for just kind of holding the cups or the cans, and it really makes a good little setup. It's portable. It's it's stuff you can buy with EBT where you don't have any cash. But that's my hobo stove, my homeless hobo stove. Like, subscribe, all that.